Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my stress buster series of videos which I'm recording here in the Alps. I put some little videos or little pictures at the beginning of this video so that you can see the view that I'm looking at whilst I'm recording this for you. You can hear the birds singing. It's June whilst I'm recording this, so you know it's about 28 degrees here today. Talking about stress, being on holiday, of course, is one of the best things that you can do to relieve your stress. But you know, for some people that's not true, because if your relationships are not good, if you find being out and away from your home and all of the things that are familiar to you uncomfortable, that sometimes being on holiday can be more stressful. Would you agree? My husband and I are creatures of habit, and we love going back to the same places over and over again, and this is because we are familiar with the rules. We kind of know where things are. We know the best places to go, you know, to eat or to shop or where to visit. We know some of the people locally, and I know it sounds a bit boring, but actually I find that takes the stress out of going on holiday. If you do go on holiday to a new place, you know, it usually takes 2 or 3 days, doesn't it, to get used to a new environment. And although it might be exciting, I actually personally don't find that restful at all. So we're talking about stress for the midlife woman, and how you can reduce stress in your life, how you can understand the type of things that cause stress, the hormones that are created within you and that are raised within you, cortisol and adrenaline, when you're in that stress response, the effects that those hormones might have on your weight, on your propensity to develop disease, on your sleep patterns, all those kind of things we're talking about. And today, my kind of subject really is more to do with the mind rather than the body. We've focused a lot on the body. But as I've kind of come to grips with what makes me happy and what makes me well, and helps me to maintain this kind of sense of vitality, is actually so much more to do with what's going on up here, with mindfulness, with my emotions, and actually all that comes down to is energy. We are total energy beings. So all of the things that I've talked to you about, so if you are getting too little sleep, if you are not getting good nutrients in your body, if you are not around people that are making you happy, if you are in a job or in a around people that are causing you high levels of stress, if you are not able to contribute in the world such as you want to, if you haven't found your purpose, if you haven't found your passion or your why, if you are doing the wrong form of exercise, all of these things are all to do with the balance of energy in your body. Even your emotions. Your emotions are actually energy in motion. That's what it is. And so once you understand that our characters and the way that we live our lives, we tend to think of them as fairly set, don't we? But I've discovered over the last 2 or 3 years, as I've begun to do the work on myself, particularly in terms of my self-development, and I don't mean personal, I don't mean self-development in terms of work and developing the business and all this kind of thing. It's not about personal development, it's about self-development. It's actually understanding me, becoming more aware of me and what drives me and why I react in the way that I do. And a lot of that comes down to what happened to me as a child. And I know it sounds a bit trite and maybe a bit kind of, we're going there again. But actually the childhood traumas, particularly before the age of 7, impact the way that we run our lives. And it means that the patterns that we've learned as a small child, or even older, or even things that have happened to us as adults, means that we kind of step into that comfort, because doing something different is uncomfortable, even though that's not comfortable. It's just a reaction that is inborn in us, and in order to get a different result in our lives, what we need to be able to do is to change our reactions to things. So I Love Joe Dispenza, he talks about the fact that our personality is derived from, you know, perhaps one incident. So something might have happened to you or me, and you develop a kind of mood around that incident. And then somebody will say to you, or, you know, you're in a bad mood today, what happened to you? Oh yeah, you know, I didn't get into the right class when I was at school, you know, 6 months ago. So that mood has become a bit of a temperament by then. And that temperament has stayed with that child all that time, and that child becomes kind of pigeonholed as, oh, that child's got a bit of a, you know, bad attitude, and that temperament eventually becomes personality, which is that person's personal reality. So in order to change our personality, we need to be willing to be able to change the reality, and to kind of look at those things that might have happened to us that have influenced the way that we behave, and also influence our reaction. So for example, you know, I was bullied at school as a child, and so it's very easy for me to fall into victim mode, and to try and be the good girl, to try and kind of just be the people pleaser, because of stuff that that happened within my family life. You know, I'll just do anything. I'm kind of have been a bit of a walkover. You know, I'm very loyal. But what I've realised, and it's taken 58 years to realise this, is that actually that loyalty has come from not a healthy place. And that in order for me to be healthy and happy, I needed to create really good boundaries around who I accept in my life and what I accept in my life, so that I'm steering it, I'm organising it, and I'm in charge. Not to say that I'm not ever going to fall back into those habits, if you like, but actually being much more aware of the things that have happened to me that are creating the situations in my life that I don't want. And so raising my energy, being able to change the energy and the way that I manage situations has been such an important thing. Being able to release the energy around negative things and replace it and allow in new energies means that I've been able to reframe so much of the things that have happened to me, so that I have more confidence going into the future, knowing that I am going to be much more in control of my emotions, my energy in motion, and also the way that I want my life to look next year, and in 10 years, and in 20 years, and in 30 years. So everything I've said about stress, just to sum this up, is really all to do with good or bad energy, positive or negative energy. Good, clean eating is about putting positive energy into your body. Good supplementation is about creating energy, the right environment, putting things in that are bioavailable to the body, being around people that are like you, on a higher vibration, or that have a much more positive energy, are much more beneficial, and they're going to be able to help you counteract the effects of stress. Being in the work environment, in the home environment, in your community environment is all about energy. It's all energy. Having energy around the exercise, the right kind of energy, having energy to sleep. Believe it or not, you need energy to sleep as well. If you're too tired, you'll notice you can't go to sleep. So in summary, really, stress and the midlife women, and us as midlife women, there are a myriad of things that are going on. There are a number of different influences that we will be much more prone to as we go into our 40s and 50s and 60s and beyond. But it's all manageable. And the more aware you become of the energies that are surrounding every part of your life, the more likely you are to live a life of health and vitality. I wish that for you more than anything else. Thank you for watching this short series of videos. There are other presentations available that are longer, that go into the various different subjects that I've covered throughout these video series. There is also a Udemy course called 14 Days to Fabulous, which is, I don't know, £20 or something. And that in itself, those are 14 short 14-minute videos that go into much more depth over some of the subjects that I've covered within this short series. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share and follow my YouTube channel, and I will see you the next time.